And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Yes, here we are again, another day committed to picking a fight with the mainstream media and always providing you the timely truth centered around real estate, credit, finance, estate planning, tax planning, so much more. You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show, where our number one goals are to educate, entertain, enlighten, but most importantly, we want to engage with you so we can help you win.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
Make sure you save our hotline number in your phone. At some point, you're going to need it. 813-670-7372. That's our consumer advocate hotline. You can give us a call or a text to that number, 813-670-7372. Make sure you save that number in your phone because at some point you're going to need it. Also, you want to bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. A plethora of information available for you on our website at consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there on our website, consumerqb.com. You can also watch the live stream television show version of our program right from our website, consumerqb.com or WeBeam TV. And in the making here, we're bringing it also to Apple TV, Amazon TV, Roku, and about 85 other outlets. So we're real excited about that. Constantly looking to improve and grow our network for you. And we are Intelligent Talk Radio. I've got some intelligent folks here in studio with me today. Rob Fricker, back in studio, Mutual of Omaha. He's the branch manager, mortgage expert. Welcome in.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, man. Good stuff. We got some great stuff to talk about, and some real success stories we'll talk about as well. And you also brought in Paul Rutherford, Centium Capital. Now, he's a commercial lender, so that's going to be awesome to have the residential side represented, vacant land somewhere in the middle there, and then you also have the commercial side. So welcome in, Paul.
Nice to be here.
Awesome, man. So we're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to talk a lot about real estate, heavy on the real estate side for the first part of the show, commercial real estate. Second part of the show, we're going to bring in Earthscapes Garden Room. Your girl Paulina's in the house, Jennifer Bell as well, home organizing options. So we got a great lineup for you here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. And of course, I'm your host. I'm the owner of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm a top listing agent in the United States of America, top 1% agent, U.S. recognized. Now, here's a property on Clearwater Beach, 207 Coronado Drive. Beautiful listing of ours. Hot property. It's the best beach in the world. I mean, let's face it, Clearwater Beach, right? Right on Clearwater Beach, 207 Coronado. Now, it's currently set up as a convenience store. You've got some apartments in the back, but this is a $3.5 million property. It's vacant land, and it's just listed. Beautiful property. Now, if you're watching our TV show, you see those twin towers? That's the Wyndham Grand right there. Right across the street is our property. So it's 207 Coronado. A great opportunity there. Now, I want to bring another commercial property into play. 7424 4th Street North over in St. Petersburg. Corner lot, gas station, mini mart with a repair shop in there, auto repair shop. So these are all going to be interesting case points and examples that we'll talk with Paul about on how he looks at that from a financing standpoint and how we're going to help sell this property. But this one is currently set up with a flag there, but it's a great property, corner lot just north of downtown St. Petersburg, busy street, 4th Street corridor, one of the most busy streets in the Tampa Bay area. So a couple of hot property listings. Check out PlatinumMVPRealty.com for all of our real estate listings. Now, we also have a buyer-seller seminar coming up. I want you to save this date, February 28th, 6 to 8 p.m. Now, you can get tickets on Eventbrite. It's a free event. You just have to register to be there. We're hosting it over at Cox Media Group, 1025 The Bone Studio. That's the location on 4th Street North as well. So you can have a radio station tour, kind of see that side of the station. Plus, what we're going to do is you're going to learn from a panel of experts all you need to know about credit, mortgage, title, inspections, and more. We're going to have our representatives from Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, A Snoop Inspection. The Snoop Dogg is going to be there. Jay Smith. We're going to have William Crowley, a.k.a. the Credit Magician, is going to be there as well, talking about credit repair. And also Aaron Foley, one of our buyer specialists. And, of course, myself, we're going to be talking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate. And we're going to have a whole room full of great people there. And some food and treat, all kinds of good stuff. So save that date, February 28th, 6 to 8 p.m., Make sure you save that date. Register on eventbrite.com, also facebook.com. You can check us out. Make sure you follow us online. We'd love to connect with you there as well. A lot of resources. There's so many ways we can help you. At Brandon Rhymes 1 on Instagram, at Brandon Rhymes 1 on Twitter, and of course the Consumer Quarterback Show pages on Facebook. All right, let's jump right into it. We've got a wealth of knowledge in the room, so I want to share this knowledge that we have with our listeners here on 1380 The Biz, the Wall Street Business Network, 5 o'clock drive time, 1380 The Biz. So Rob Fricker, let's start with you. So we talk a lot about with you, we're talking about 100% financing. We got some really cool programs that are coming back, and this is not these irrational subprime type loans. These are real deal, Holyfield type loans that you can save money. And we're also, when we structure that with seller concessions, now you got these folks coming to the table with very little to no money out of pocket.
Yeah, we literally just closed one yesterday that was absolutely phenomenal. The customer came in a week and a half ago, got turned down by the county because he made too much money. Our new down payment assistance program is untouchable. We ended up getting him approved, even though he made too much money for the county. It came out of pocket $0.
Wow.
Because he got 4% seller's contribution, which paid for all of his closing costs, and literally walked in the house without coming out of pocket $1.
Yeah.
I mean, it's these programs are phenomenal, and on top of that, as long as he makes the payments for 36 months, it's 100% forgivable.
Wow.
So in 3 years, he's got $7,000 in equity just by making his payments on time.
That's nice. Now, so seller concessions. If you don't understand what seller concessions is, do you want to explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, somebody has to pay closing costs. Nobody wants to, but somebody has to. Either the buyer or the seller has to pay. A great realtor like yourself and your team basically negotiates the deal because we tell you, hey, look, we need to set it up like this.
Yes.
If you set it up right, you can literally get the seller to pay for all of their closing costs. And now you have to take into consideration when you're making the offer, because if you're trying to lowball it and then not taking into consideration that they're going to be giving you $7,000-8,000, you got to factor that into your offer. But it can be negotiated that the seller pays for it. And that's the best way to do it, because it saves money and it puts, keeps that money in your pocket.
So in essence, what you're doing is you're gifting, you're having the seller gift some of his equity to you, moving that over to your side of the equation. And then what you're doing also is you're kind of building that into the appraisal. So you have to be careful when you do that sometimes. So to use a $100,000 example, what we're saying is that if you say, hey, we want to purchase your property, we want to ask for 3% seller concessions. So that's going to be 3% from the seller side coming back to you at closing. So that's money that you don't have to come up with out of pocket. That's going to go toward your down payment, prepaids, closing costs, whatever you want to call it. Now, what you might want to do is what Rob was referring to as well, is you might want to say, hey, we're going to offer you $103,000. We're going to ask you for 3% seller concessions. In essence, what you're getting is a full price offer.
Absolutely. And it works out for both sides, because the seller's doing the buyer a favor by, giving him the money so he can keep the money. And as I said, once you own a house, you can't call the landlord to pay for stuff to fix it. So you got to have the money. And this is a way to start people off the right way so they don't get in a hole. They don't go into debt right off the bat if something breaks.
You're not house poor. You can't go out to eat anymore. You can't, they have these problems that come up. So too many times we see people do that. So we're talking with Rob Fricker here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So what else you want to talk about? There's a lot of cool things, man.
There's so many different programs out there right now, and like we talked last time on the show, the rates are going up, which is going to open up guidelines, and we're already seeing more and more programs. We got an investor program right now that is untouchable as well. There's no income qualifications. They don't take a look at your tax returns. They don't take a look at how much money. As long as you got 20% down and you own a primary property, you can go buy an investment property.
Wow.
So there's a lot more coming down the line. I just read this morning that Canada just opened up their guidelines, which they have to. Anytime you have the rates go up, it kind of pushes people out of a market, and you can't do that. You have to figure out another way to bring people back into the market.
Yeah.
We were just talking on the way over here that, the Tampa Bay Bucks, they had the lowest attendance. Now they're dropping their prices on their tickets.
Well, they should, man.
You gotta do something.
How about the beer too? Let's drop the prices on the beer,
Exactly.
So you go in there and you have fun, but so it all boils down to a free market.
Yeah.
In capitalism, right?
Exactly.
That's what I like. When one thing changes, government changes. Now you've got corporations coming in or lenders saying, hey, this makes sense. This is a make sense bucket, so to speak, right? right?
Absolutely.
So this makes sense. Let's if they've got a 680 credit score or 660, then we could do 95% financing, but we want to make sure they have maybe 6 months reserves, or
right.
So there's all these offsetting types of things with checks and balances.
And there's it goes back to that old saying that they're starting to bring common sense back.
Yeah.
That's something that's been missing because
not so common.
Exactly. It was all about slots. If you fit in the slot, you're good. If you didn't, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things where it's starting to come back. People are getting more engaged. We're seeing a lot more people set this up the right way and do it the right way by taking their time working with professionals that know what they're doing.
So let's do this again right before our break here. We offered last time, we got a lot of people texting the word rent and the amount of rent that they're paying.
Yep.
Every time we do that, we get a lot of response, and I feel like it's something that we should really do, because right now renters are paying about 35% more than they should.
Absolutely.
So let's do this. Let's offer a rent versus own analysis. Okay. So for the first 5 listeners who text us, what we're going to do, Rob and his team, Kevin, got a great team over there, by the way. What we're going to do is a rent versus own analysis. We're going to help you break down, hey, here's how much I'm paying in rent. Text the word rent to our hotline at 813-670-7372. All you have to do is text the word rent to 813-670-7372 and let us know how much rent you're paying. So rent $1,500. If I get that text, we're going to ask you for your email. You can reply with the email as well. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to get you in touch with Rob and his team. He's going to break it down for you on a spreadsheet. He's going to say, hey, here's what you could be paying in a mortgage. Here's what you would qualify. He's going to take a look at your credit, make sure you don't have any thing on there, any identity theft, any of those types of scenarios that's going to hurt you, and get you prepared to make that move, build a legacy for yourself, pay down the equity on your own home. And when you're renting, you can't throw the cool parties either. You can't party as much. So you're
no
going to be
Super Bowl parties.
Yeah, there you go. So let's do that. Text the word rent to 813-670-7372. And then what we're going to do for the first 5 listeners, we're going to hook you up with that. You can also check out our website, consumerqb.com. There's an email form right on our website. You can submit that form. It's going to come through to us if you're not a texter, or maybe you're driving right now. So we'll see you on the other side of this break. More from our expert contributors. We're going to talk with Paul Rutherford here and talk a little bit more about the commercial side of lending and some really cool stuff coming up right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Do not touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Jarek Robbins. You are listening to the Consumer Quarterback Show with Brandon Rhymes. Please do what it takes to learn all that you have to live the life you want to live it fully, and find a way to give it by paying it forward to others.
Get in touch with Brandon online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, published author, professional speaker. Check out our book on Amazon, Become the MVP in Your Industry by Surfing the Radio Waves, kind of the prequel to our business that we launched with Ken Shamrock, the ultimate fighting champion. He's WWF, WWE legend as well. Ken Shamrock, business on that, Business Growth Celebrity Academy. Is a business partner with my wife and I on that company. So published author, professional speaker. We help you in a lot of ways. Most importantly, we're your consumer advocate. We've got 80 plus show partners that we bring on the show: CPAs, financial advisors, attorneys, mortgage and real estate experts, all types of home services related to the real estate game, where we can help you as a consumer advocate. We want to help you avoid a lot of the misinformation, all of that commission-based advice that's so prevalent in our community today. That's what we're here for. We want to help you. So make sure you engage with us on our website or the hotline. We would love to help you with that. And every week we're getting a lot of calls, a lot of people reaching out to help with that credit package or the rent versus own that we talked about. So there's a lot of ways that we can help you. And let's give a shout out to our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show, the Bilmar Beach Resort over on Treasure Island, filled with fantastic and generous amenities to make your vacation that much more special. The Bilmar Beach Resort has been one of the most sought after destinations in the Treasure Island area for years. And it's a great place to go hang out on the weekends. They got 2 pools on site. They got Sloppy Joe's restaurant right there, a couple different bars. Whether you're planning a wedding, a business trip, family vacation, or just a local staycation, Bilmar Beach Resort is one of the best places to go check out. Now, make sure you let them know that the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on the special offers and incentives that they're going to offer you just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. The Bilmar Beach Resort, the official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we're back here in studio. We're going to help you win a couple of hot listings here on the beach. This one's over at Clearwater Beach again, 1370 Gulf Boulevard, Unit 401. This is the Bella Rosa condo. This is $1 million listings, $1.121 million asking price, 1370 Gulf Boulevard, 3-bedroom, 3-bath condominium, 2,200 square feet, just listed. Just a gorgeous property right on the beach. You got tennis, you got pool, spa, one of the best maintained buildings. That's the game when it comes to the financing side is, how well run is the HOA? What do the fees look like? What are the reserves? This one's in great condition. Another hot property, compliments of Platinum MVPRealty.com.
Somewhere sunny and 75.
All right, we're back here in studio. So I wanted to, first segment we talked with Rob Mutual of Omaha Mortgage, Rob Fricker. He's the branch manager. So I want to bring Paul into the conversation. Paul Rutherford, he's with Ascentium Capital, commercial lender. So interesting, dynamic that we have. Sometimes in real estate, we're looking at, commercial deals. I've got that $3.5 million property on the beach. How would someone finance that type of a property? Normally on a commercial, you're looking for income, you're looking for debt service coverage ratios, all these interesting dynamics. But here you got a nice piece of dirt. It's got a building on it. How would you look at that type of property?
Well, it really depends on what somebody wants to do with that property. What their idea is that they want to build on it. If they want to, I believe you said it was a convenience store currently.
Yep, and it's got a couple rentals in the back.
And a couple rentals in the back, so they can make it keep it a convenience store, change the flag, which would be something simple to do, or they could knock the whole thing down, take the whole thing vertical, like we discussed previously.
Yep.
Something like that. You can get into buying that property for 10 or 15% down, and depending on what you want to do with it after that. There's multiple different types of products, whether it's conventional financing or SBA type financing, 504, 7A products, for whatever you want to do. It just depends on what kind of business you'd like to put there. It's a hot market, hot place for traffic. There's a lot of different things that could be put there that could be very successful.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially the idea of a mixed use type, you got some pizza on the bottom, maybe the second floor, you got some office space,
right?
And then some rental apartments above it or something like that.
Absolutely. Something like that could work really well.
Yeah. So it would take the vision of the investor to say, hey, we realize it's going to take 18 months to build or, however many months to get this from demolished to vertical, and then so that investor has to have that long term, that patient money, but then they have to realize that for the next 30, 40, 50 years they're going to have the best property on the beach,
especially Clearwater Beach. Yeah, so something like that, what we would do is we could they have a 10 or 15% down purchase the property, and then we would finance that project to take it vertical, do an interest only type loan with a reserve for that, so it wouldn't be coming out of their pocket to do something like that.
Nice.
To get that thing vertical and get it open and operating, provide working capital and things that they would need to get that business off the ground and running, successfully.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you've got, for example, the 7424 4th Street North. You got a gas station. He's got 3 different bays that he can service. He does, light mechanic type stuff there, oil changes, belts, and those types of deals. That's a different type of underwriting altogether.
Total different animal. And I'm very familiar with that property. It's a BP currently flagged, and somebody come into that is going to look for that to pretty much maintain, be a gas station again of some sort. That's been there for a long time.
Yep.
Somebody could knock that down and take it vertical again, but there's some other obstacles you could run into there with like contamination of the ground and things like that. Environmental problems. So a lot of people are going to look at that property and going to keep it a gas station, maybe change a flag, upgrade it a little more, do some renovation or refacing of the property. But that's a very hot location as well too.
Great location, $795,000. Initially when I saw that, I was talking to the owner. I was like, wow, we got to get this sold for him. It's a great guy, super nice owner. He's got a corner lot there. He just wants to sell it.
Yep. The pricing for that's that's a great price for that location. So
right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we'll have to work together on some marketing.
Yes, sir. I agree. We can pre-qualify that property actually for financing, stuff like that, to make it easier for somebody that wants to come in and buy it.
That would really be nice, because that way you're providing that buyer, hey, here's all that we know. And that's what it comes down to with all types of, real estate's pretty basic. The residential side, it's, here's a 3-2, you got a, HOA fee, you got this. But with a commercial, that's important, right?
Yes, very much so. You want to know what's going on with the property, and we can pre-qual it up front, so somebody that's a qualified buyer can come in and know that they have financing as long as they meet A, B, and C.
Right. Let me ask you, so is vacant land in your wheelhouse too?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
talk to me about vacant land, because I've got lots of those different. I got 84 acres listed on 2606 Valrico Road. Mm-hmm. So then that's, again, another separate set of underwriting guidelines.
Totally. Totally. That's a whole other animal in itself, just because people want to, a lender's going to want to know, what are you going to do with the property? We can finance you to acquire it, but what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Because obviously vacant land isn't making any money. And of course, we talked about lenders want to see, what kind of debt service coverage ratio, what kind of income is that going to produce down the road?
Yep.
So as long as there's a plan in place, there's always an opportunity to do lending on vacant land.
Right. All right. So if you just joined us, Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're talking with Paul Rutherford here. He's a commercial expert in the space of lending, Ascendium Capital. So yeah, that's an interesting one, because then you get into, again, you got to put in the sewers, you got to put in the
infrastructure,
tax the utilities. Yes,
the infrastructure, and that's all part of having an idea what you want to do with the property. Because we would finance that. Obviously, we could finance the acquisition of the property, but then we could also finance the infrastructure part of it, depending on what you want to do with it down the road. Maybe you want to flip it to somebody who wants to, develop it further once you have the infrastructure in. Obviously, it's easier to sell once you have the infrastructure completed.
Yes.
So that makes it more attractive to buyers to come in and develop it further, take things vertical, or use it for whatever type of business opportunity they have.
Yeah. Something like that. When it depends on the zoning too. That's a whole nother part. The county, how many units will they allow in that particular space? Wetlands versus highlands. You get into all that whole conversation. So let's go to another asset type. Talk to me about. Rob and I went to an event this weekend. My friend Rod Cleef put on a multifamily apartment buying seminar. It was a weekend class talking about analyzing properties, funding properties. Talk to me about apartment complexes and multifamily units. I just saw on LinkedIn Grant Cardone, a former guest on the show. He just bought another luxury apartment. I think it was outside of Austin, Texas. Mm-hmm. He said, there's a Google planned campus here. And I mean, when you look at, companies like a Google or whoever coming in, I mean, you've got guaranteed returns, pretty good chance of guaranteed returns on an apartment. People have to live somewhere.
Absolutely. Now, again, multifamily, that's a whole nother different animal. When you look at it, income producing properties, things like that.
Yep.
You want to make sure that it follows a debt service coverage ratio, like we spoke about earlier, depending on, how you buy it, whether you put 10% down, 20% down to buy an investment property. So, but those are really hot right now. That's a real hot market. There's a lot of lending out there that's open and ready for people to come in and buy investment property. You just got to make sure you have at least a minimum of 10% down. And then there's different programs for people who want to keep that in a portfolio as an investment versus people who want to buy and flip. So there's multiple programs depending on what you want to do. If you want to invest in something like that, need to throw a little money in it, reface it a little bit and then sell it for some profit.
Yeah. All right.
So,
parting words, Rob. Where's your website? How do you want people to connect with you?
The best way to do it is just give us a call. I mean, it's and then we'll kind of walk you through everything. You can reach me anytime at 727-638-5708. We're always available.
Awesome. Paul,
myself,
website
same. Best way to get in touch with me is the cell phone is 727-638-8619. If you ever have any questions about any type of commercial financing, I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Good stuff. All right. Hey, great content there. Thanks so much. And when we come back, we're going to have our expert contributors from Earthscape Garden Room. Paulina's going to be in the house, home organizing options. And we got a great feel-good story coming up as well. Chris Helmsworth helps terminally ill fan see early screening of Avengers Endgame coming up in our feel-good segment. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
This is Warwick Dunn, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by Trulieve on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. You're listening to the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, giving a shout out to Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brothers Easy Moving. They strive to be the very best Tampa Bay moving companies by exceeding your expectations from the first phone call to the final customer courtesy call. They are among the best reviewed Tampa movers as well, including Google, where they hold a 4.6 rating, the highest in the Tampa Bay area. They have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau, A rating on on Angie's List, 4.5 on Yelp, and they have won the Super Service Award multiple times. Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Reach out to Gary and the team over at Brothers Easy Moving. Make sure you let them know that the real estate quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And as you know, I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes here. Got a hot property listing on Seminole here. This is 9511 Antilles Drive in Seminole. 4 bedrooms, 3 full bath. You got a half bath as well. 2,820 square feet heated. $585,000 just reduced. This is a great opportunity. New estate style home. David Weekley home on almost a half an acre in one of the best zip codes in all of Tampa Bay. That's 33776 zip code in beautiful Seminole, Florida. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPRealty.com.
Sun is shining, the weather is sweet.
All right, so we got a new panel lineup, so I thought we'd go around the horn here, make some introductions. We've got Karen May back in studio, Earthscapes Garden Room. Welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome, yeah.
Hey, we're a full landscaping company. We start with professional designers. We come, we visit you, we ask questions, and we work with you and see how we can improve the property value of your home.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, you can. There's a lot you can do. You know, exterior decor, lighting, all kinds of cool stuff.
Oh,
Waterfalls.
We do it all.
I love that.
We do the waterfalls. We do the lands planting. We do pavers. We do it all.
Nice. I love that. Okay, so more from Karen coming up. Also want to introduce Paulina back in studio.
Hey.
Your girl, Paulina.
What's up, everybody? You know I love being here so much. Thank you for having me, of course. And today I'll be talking about wedding planning and how very strategic it is. I always talk to you about networking and how those kind of events are very strategic to grow your business. But right now it's engagement season, super heavy engagement season. And you need to know when to start contacting your caterer. So I'm going to get into a little bit of that.
I want to ask you, what's the best engagement story you've ever heard?
Oh, I've actually experienced it, but I wasn't getting engaged. So
Okay.
I have a really good story for that. Should I say now?
Go ahead,
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So there was a warehouse manager and one of the captains in our company
Right.
that have been dating each other for a couple of years.
Right.
And then he created this whole party where he pretended it was for a woman's foundation, and they all wore like the lady's favorite colors and everything. She thought she was just walking into a regular day of work. And little did she know, her entire family surprised her, and this whole was a surprise engagement party for
Nice.
her. And all the employees were there too, because we were working it / partying with them. It was the most beautiful event.
Nice.
I cried like a baby. We actually have it on our YouTube page because
That's really
when I
cool.
realized what was happening, I made it with my cell phone, but it was so worth it.
Yeah, that's
Best
awesome.
engagement story ever.
Very
Marty,
cool.
Wendy, heart you so much.
That's cool. All right. So also Jennifer Bell making her debut to the show.
Hi, thank
Home
you.
Organizing Options. Home Organizing Options. Tell us a little bit more about that.
We work with realtors and referred clients to go in and prep a house for a sale. So we basically go in and do all of the preparation for an open house. It reduces the stress and the time involved for the client themselves to prepare the house while they're going to work and everyday activities as well. And we get it done typically in one day. So we're in and out in one day. Everything's taken care of. The realtor can let us in so the client doesn't have to be there. They come and they review everything with us before they leave so that they know the house is in the condition that they want it to be in for the open house for the client, as well as prepared the way the realtor expects.
I like that. So open houses also for moving too, right? Kind of prepping
Right.
before a move.
Right. If the client sells the home and decides to retain our services again, we also give them an additional compensation or discount for it.
Yeah.
And that way we can provide them with moving services since we know where their items are already and we've already been entrusted with their belongings and inside their home.
I love it. Yeah, that's awesome. It's kind of like, with like it's one of the most stressful things you go through is moving your home.
You should know.
Listing and yeah, exactly. Listing and selling, and trying to get an open house done, trying to make sure it's decluttered and, to a point where, the owner, it's been said also when you list a home, in your mind, you should no longer live there. It's like, nope, this is now a model home. Nothing, it's to a point where this is a model home. I don't live here emotionally or, with all of my stuff out and about, try to minimize as much you can and make it look like literally like it's in a magazine.
Right.
You know, model home mentality. All right, so we got a great lineup for the second half of the show here. I want to go back to Karen May here, Earthscape Garden Room, landscapes, all types of cool things you guys are doing over there, and you got a great team. I met your owner last time as well at our cool party we had.
Mike Van Coulter.
Mike as well, yeah, great guy, very knowledgeable as well. So you guys have been in business for quite a while, based in that Palm Harbor area, but you're servicing the whole Tampa Bay market.
This is true.
Yep.
We've been in business in Pinellas County for 30 years. Mike has had his company for 30 years in Pinellas County. However, we do all of the Tampa Bay area. We start by coming out and meeting with you and inquiring as to what it is that you would like to have done.
Yeah.
What is your vision?
Yeah.
So we try to work with your vision. We send professional landscaper designs out there, and they spend quite a bit of time with you. We can provide everything from plant installation to build a waterfall, build streams, build ponds. We also do hardscaping, which is paver work. We can build patios for you, pathways. It's endless what we can provide for you.
If you've seen it on TV, a video, a
We can do
magazine,
it.
you can do it, right?
We can do it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's awesome. And you probably come out from a consultative approach as well, where you're going to say, hey, here's what I would recommend. Maybe they might sometimes even have an idea, and you might say, well, you know, that might not work the best with given the landscape that we have here, but you might want to do this. This might be complementary. I'm sure you have all those different scenarios.
Yes, we do. That's why we send one of our designers out to meet with you.
Yeah.
And they spend quite a bit of time with you. They get your ideas. If you have a set idea and they feel that it's not going to work, they'll tell you.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, it's your yard and it's what you envision, and that's what we try to do.
Right.
Make your vision come true.
Awesome. Yeah. So Earthscape Garden Room, Palm Harbor. I see the logo. It says inspiration for home and garden.
Correct.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Correct. Yep. We create with Mother Nature is what we do.
I like that. So, Paulina, you work hand in hand as well.
Yes.
So, what are you seeing on your side? You know, from an outsider standpoint.
I get to be really lucky and help with their social media marketing for the Earthscapes Garden Room. And what I love about them is I've obviously seen them in action and how they work with the clients, but they have something like a 3D and 2D. I think you should totally explain that because it's amazing.
Cool.
Yes. What we do is it's on a computer, and we literally build your home from ground up. And we place the plants in there. It's like it's almost like a video game.
Yeah.
And we can show you exactly right down to the breeze blowing the trees.
Wow.
It all shows up on the video, and we can move plants around. We can put you in a chair by your poolside in this video, so you can see what you're going to look like in your backyard.
Nice.
Sipping on a cup of tea.
I like that. I like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So cool. And then you get to go to their amazing retail space in Palm Harbor that has all the different plants. Tell them a little bit about what you can
That's
get
gonna
there.
inspire you there. Yeah.
The retail company that we have, which is located in Palm Harbor on Alt 19, is set up not like your basic nursery. It's not rows and rows of plants, but what we have done is Mike has tried to create an atmosphere for when you walk in, you can envision different areas of how you would like your backyard to look. When you walk in there's different sections that are set up tropical, maybe pallet walls, which is something that's very interesting that we're now starting to get into. But it's not your basic nursery where it's just rows and rows of plants. You can come in and most of the customers that do come in say, this is what I want my backyard to be.
Wow. I love it. Yeah. They talk about inspiration. We had that party there. They also do venue. They have it as a venue for all types of cool stuff at parties, events, weddings.
That's right. And that's where I came in. I feel like that was our beautiful marriage. Our stars aligned, and Amici started to cater there. What you guys need to know before we totally confuse you to death is that Earthscapes Garden Room is the retail landscaping nursery business.
Correct.
The garden venue, website coming, so stay tuned, is for the events, weddings, and everything in between. So that's how we met, because Amici's caters there all the time. They're the preferred vendor there for the catering. And they have truly helped create memories that are unforgettable. It's Tampa Bay's most magical garden venue. It is something that you guys, it's beautiful in the daytime, but it's beautiful at night. They have a whole bunch of fire tables there. They're so romantic.
I love those.
You can hear the waterfalls everywhere. And the pictures that come out of there is just unbelievable. I mean, you have to be a photographer that knows how to shoot nighttime. That's for sure. Yeah. So I want to shout out Heather B because you're the best.
Yeah. And when you walk through there, you got all types of complementary, everything from the flooring to the shell rock to the pavers. And then you have I love how it flows with nature as well. You got the beautiful oak trees there. But yeah, it's awesome. We want you reaching out. Check out consumerqb.com. You can see links to all of our expert contributors there. You'll see their announcement card on our website, and it's going to have their website, their information, their contact information, phone numbers, and that way you can reach out directly to all of our expert contributors. So check out the Earthscape Garden Room, Palm Harbor, Karen May as well, and got your girl Paulina coming up. We got Jennifer Bell as well after this break, and stay with us. We have our feel good story of the day. Chris Helmsworth helps terminally ill fans see early screening of the Avengers in the game. Stay with us right here. Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Getting back on.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
Technical and stuff. Awesome. Yeah. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Come on and turn it on. Tune into the Tech Shamans. Cool.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of Platinum MVP Team at Keller Williams Realty, helping our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties. We would love to talk to you. Check out Platinum MVP Realty for all your real estate needs. PlatinumMVPRealty.com, that is, for all your real estate needs. And our feel-good story of the day. Every day we're telling you something positive and we're telling you a feel-good story. Here's our great story for today.
Tell me something good.
Okay, So Chris Helmsworth helps terminally ill fans see early screening of Avengers Endgame. So a terminally ill fan gets to watch an early screening of the upcoming Avengers film Endgame. For his emotional appeal got Chris Helmsworth attention. Alexander, 33, revealed his dying wish was to see the final Avengers movie as he is battling liver cancer, mouth cancer, and bone marrow failure and has only days to live. The campaign went viral with the hashtag Avengers for Alexander and led to Helmsworth asking Disney to get in touch with Alexander. Days later, Alexander revealed that Disney reached out to him to discuss options. I cried when I read their email. It's everything I hoped for, and I owe it all to you, Alexander wrote on Reddit. He added, a few commenters have offered financial support, and I've told them that money isn't my problem, just time. Instead, I'd like to direct you to donate money to research for my genetic disease. Fanconi Amenia was his thing. So there's our feel-good story of the day. He feel good kind of in a way, but kind of not. It's kind of a tough one, but kind of like those Disney where they do the Sports Center things. But okay, let's go to Paulina. So Paulina, what's happening in your world?
Well, geez, let's bring it up. Okay, we're going to bring that up a little bit. So I first of all want to say congratulations to all the newly engaged couples, right? You want it, then you should have put a ring on it. Yeah. So as you guys are getting into your planning, I wanted to give you some advice because Florida is one of the top destinations to get married at, and you got to book sooner than you would anywhere else. So the first 7 things that you usually plan are your venue, of course, the bridal salon, the entertainment, photography, videography, that's 1, the officiant, and the caterer and the florist. Those are your first top 7 most important things right away.
Yep.
So then you're going to go through the process and everything. And then when you're about 6 to 9 months out is when you should start setting up all your tastings, which brings me to a really lovely point. Amici's Catered Cuisine offers monthly tastings. Every month you get to come on in and try a really wide variety of our food. You meet our staff, you meet our chefs. We can get as custom as you would like. And though we did design it for engaged couples, if you happen to be throwing a birthday party or something else, just call and make a reservation with us at our office and we'll always get you in. But when you're going to your caterer, what I like to do is be a really good resource to my customers. I'm not just going to help them with the catering anymore. Right. I like to know the best vendors out there, make sure that I can recommend them to the best baker and the venue and everything else. And
be a resource.
That's really what's important, being a resource. So I think, for example, the garden venue has been a really great resource for Amici's to come in and, make them our preferred caterer. We figured out so many different ways that we can cater there. So, as far as doing, of course, regular plated buffet, but the action stations, because there's so many different areas in the garden room, we could really spread them out. We could do a full world around the world tour of different foods. It's super custom and exciting, and marry your love with food. I was at a networking group the other day and everybody was bribing each other. If you give me this referral, I'll get you a gift certificate to Burns, or, everyone's naming out different companies. So you could be the hero, definitely start catering and make everybody happy all around, whether it's for your weddings, your networking, catering, everything else. We are here to help you at all times.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So Paulina, let's transition now. So when we're talking about the real estate side, you talk about weddings, you talk about events that kind of transition to our real estate game.
Exactly. So, with weddings are always the biggest life changes. You're probably moving, you're going to another home. That's why I feel like we're such great partners, because we meet those same people all the time.
Yep.
And so, when you're getting ready to do all that, you have to meet my girl, Jennifer. She's the one to help you. That's right.
Home organizing options. So let's bring Jennifer Bell into the conversation now. So we had the intro. Now, what makes your services unique? What do you do? Give us an overview.
Well, we basically go in and we personalize everything for each of our clients. Typically, we have a realtor referral, or it's a private client that we've worked with before. So our clients that we're meeting new are usually someone that they are referred from that we've already done services for, which is nice because then you already have that instant comfortability with the person, because someone else that knows them personally has already referred them.
That's right.
Realtors bring us in to prepare the homes for the open houses. So it does take your mind off of a lot of things. Like Paulina said, if you're getting married or you're transitioning, if both of you have a home or you're going to buy your first home, or, you're joining everything together, there's a lot that you have to also purge. Typically, we work with a lot of donation centers and different things throughout the Tampa Bay area. We work with battered women's shelters and so forth. So if you donate, we're able to give you a tax write-off in the process, as well as help other people locally in the community that otherwise might not have the opportunities to purchase even basic items.
Yeah.
We also work with, I'm working now to set up things with a vet, where vets are trying to get, stable and be on their own. And we can take some of that furniture and things and give it to them to help to house, prepare their new place.
Yeah.
Again, which is otherwise they might not have the opportunity. So we do work a lot with the community. Our service, we're a family-owned business. We've been around for over 10 years. And my husband and I typically meet the clients together because it's a little bit easier to get a roundabout idea of what services we can provide for that specific client's needs.
Right.
We also sit down and work with the realtors with the client to do a walkthrough. We do before and after photos and videos so that the client knows what we're doing and make sure that they're comfortable with it before we leave their home.
Yeah. Yeah, that's super awesome. So if you just joined us, I'm Brandon Rhymes. I'm your host of the show. We're talking with Jennifer Bell. Her and her husband, Marquise, have a company here in the Tampa Bay area called Home Organizing Options. So it's everything from preparing your home to sell, for open houses, or also preparing for a move. And again, we mentioned it was one of the most stressful areas that you see. So, you're able to come in, provide some stability and some experience in those areas.
Correct.
Yep. So tell us a little bit more about your strengths. What's the strengths of your company?
Well, not everybody's house is as messy as the next person or is as neat as the next person. So one of our strengths is evaluating the circumstance once we first walk in, just make sure that we are looking at it from a perspective of a buyer's market. If someone walks in your home and it's a disaster, it's messy, it makes it more difficult for people to envision themselves living there. It's also a little bit more peaceful for those few days that your house is a little bit cleaner than normal for you to sit back and relax and know that it was taken care of for you. When the buyers come in and they see a neat and tidy place, they know that they're moving into a home that typically probably is clean. And so they already have that good vibe about the place. As well, when things are put up, you just get a sense of peace. And you know that when you move in, you're going to be able to put your things in certain areas, because when it's cluttered and messy, it's hard to envision your things coming into that home.
Sure.
If the realtor brings us in and we're working with a client and they decide to purchase the house, then that same realtor can refer their new client who's buying the house for us to unload all of their things and place it in the home for them too. So we can do a move in, a move out, or a cleaning and organization. When we do the services for organizing and prepping the house, we do a full cleaning service as well. We don't just stop with the organizing. We want it head to toe ready. So we typically try to fall towards the end of the week because home showings are usually on the weekend.
Right. Yeah, that's important when you look at, because whenever you're moving things, a lot of times there's dust, there's different things. So you don't want to replace the stage type home, into that area. So that's awesome. So yeah, what else are you seeing out there? So, the real estate market, it looks like it's, still steady, real estate steady. It took a little bit of a slowdown in certain price points, 500,000 and up when you look at that. But, I think this is an awesome thing when you look at, and here's the thing, when a market shift, we're in the middle of a market shift right now. The market is changing a little bit. When markets shift, it's more important than ever to have a decluttered home, to have staging, to have, these open houses that's going to impress, some of the, the potential buyers.
Right.
That's important.
It does. When you go in with a realtor, the first thing that I do with a realtor privately before we meet with the client is make sure what the realtor's perception of the home is supposed to be, because the way that realtor shows the home may be different than other realtors. And that way they expect it a certain way. We can meet not only their needs, but also the potential buyer or seller's needs.
Right.
We want to make sure that we're meeting all the needs of everyone involved so that we can complement what the realtors, putting out there, and not just going into the home, fixing and organizing it the way that we see it, but also meeting their specific target needs to sell that home. Some homes are on the market for a long time, and we come in and we're able to restage per se. I don't like to say that because we don't bring furniture in, but we do move furniture from room to room if necessary to open up an area. And typically people say, I never thought to put that chair there or whatever, or a lot of people end up apologizing. I'm so sorry it got this bad. I'm like, if it wasn't this bad, I wouldn't have a job. So I thank you for a little bit of the mess.
That's right.
I appreciate that. I always encourage them to just relax and let us go through the process, that everybody has jobs and all the other things they're committed to. So at least we can relieve that stress for
Excellent.
them.
That's great stuff. Homeorganizingoptions.com is the website. Homeorganizingoptions.com. I want to thank all of our expert contributors for coming in today. Karen May, Earthscapes Garden Room, your girl Paulina, and next time we're going to have Marquise on the show as well, so you can talk with Marquise as well a little bit about his perspective from the Home Organizing Options company, homeorganizingoptions.com. Please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness, and we'll see you next time here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. ConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show, weekday afternoons at 5 on AM 1380. The Biz.
Are you a real estate agent looking to take your business to the next level and supercharge your marketing? Hi, I'm Brandon Rhymes, owner of Platinum MVP Realty and host of the Real Estate Quarterback Show, syndicated radio and TV show talk program on iHeartRadio, 102.5 The Bone, daily 5 o'clock drive time on 1380 The Biz, and our TV show is on WeBeam TV. We're looking for real estate agents that want to join our team and supercharge their marketing utilizing some of our innovative strategies. We utilize the Real Geeks platform, Facebook marketing, internet marketing, and a lot of the traditional methods as well. Postcard mailers mailed for you, postage, signage, business cards, all paid for by the company. Aggressive real estate splits and ways to help you win in any marketplace. We need you to go out, take applications, and work our plethora of leads that we're generating on a daily basis. Reach out by clicking the form below, and we'd love to have a confidential interview with you.
This is the Cannabis Podcast, powered by TrueLeaf on Radio Influence. It's an inside look and the scientific facts in and around the world of medical cannabis. Now, here is your host, Ian Beckles.
He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the Consumer Quarterback.